Welcome to episode 134 of the Local Runners Podcast, the podcast by runners for runners. And we're your hosts. I'm Sean Warburton.
I'm Dave Norman.
I'm Callum Parkinson.
And I'm Katie Kay.
So let's kick off with race reviews. So race reviews are brought to you by Precision Fuel and Hydration. The team have been using Precision Fuel and Hydration for fueling long runs and recovery. I actually use them for London Marathon as well, so I'll talk about that a bit more in my race review. Use code LRP26 for 15% off. So London Marathon was a world record day. We had a record number of people running the marathon, 59,830 finishers. Too many.
Amazing. Too many.
A busy one.
It was busy.
And we also had world record times. So I'll start with the story of the day, the men's race. In first place, we had Sebastian Sawe of Kenya, around 1:59:30. 1:59:30. Can anyone believe that?
Unreal.
I did not expect to see that in my lifetime.
I didn't. When did you find out, Sean?
As soon as I saw Claire after the race.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So yeah, I think the last two 5K splits were like 13:40, 13:45. Unbelievable.
It was great. It was really good to watch, and the BBC really messed up because they didn't really concentrate on the top three, probably until Westminster.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it just seemed, and then the commentator actually turned around at one point and said, "Are we going to see sub 2? And then, do you think the crowd know?" And then that was it. Everything was just fully focused, and they weren't switching over for anything.
Yeah, I remember when we did the episode just after Kelvin Kipton had passed away, and I said he's left behind a world record, which would be incredibly difficult to beat. And I can't believe it's been beaten. I really can't. Yeah.
Two as well, wasn't it? Two of them went under two. That's even more incredible.
I think that's what made it possible. Two athletes both battling for the race. So second place, Yomif Kajelska of Ethiopia, 1:59:41. That's his first marathon. It's his first marathon, by the way. So he's the previous half marathon world record holder. And the guy in third place, all the way down in third place with a mere 2 hours 28 seconds inside the current world record before this race was ran, was Jacob Kiplimo from Uganda. And he is the current half marathon world record holder. So that is some field that London have put together there, and it's delivered what they wanted, I think.
Yeah, it's incredible, that, isn't it? Everyone's eating bread, honey, and a cup of tea now, aren't they? Apparently that's the secret ingredient.
Yeah, it might be more to do with the 200-mile weeks.
Forget that. Definitely bread, honey, and tea.
Not the honey first, see how that goes.
Yeah.
The women's race was also a record-breaking race. So in first place, we had Tigesta Sefa of Ethiopia, 2:15:41, and that's a women's only world record. So because the women's race sets off before the men's, and it doesn't have male pacers, it's a world record in a women's only race.
Yeah.
Second place was Helen Obiri of Kenya, 2:15:53. And that's a big PB for Helen Obiri, who's normally racing hilly races like New York. And she's come over there and run an incredible time at London. And then in third place, Jocelyn Jepkosgei is a previous winner of London from Kenya, 2:15:55. So all the top three there inside 2:16. So, yeah.
Incredible.
So both races had incredible depth there. I mean, I think and that's contributed to those fast times.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, London have always been good at that, haven't they? Putting together. I mean, don't forget we're missing Hassan from there as well, who withdrew recently with injury. But you put those great athletes together like that, and well, they're the results.
Yeah. Who was the first male athlete? From British male, sorry.
It was Mohammed,
yeah.
And he went second in the all-time UK rankings behind Mo Farah.
Right. Oh, so that's amazing, isn't he?
I know, and he's a member of Southampton running club. But then in third place, third all-time on the UK rankings was second Brit on the day, and that was Patrick Deaver of Preston Harriers. So a Northwest runner. I've known Patrick for many years. He's based in the States now, and he's become a professional runner out there. But I remember being out warm weather training in Portugal many years ago, and doing some training with him. And even when he was 17 years old, you know, and going out for 10-mile runs with me, because nobody else in his peer group was doing 10-mile runs. You know, he was coming out with me, and you know, he wanted to run under 6-minute mile and on a 10-mile easy run. So, you know, that I think that gave a bit of a hint of what was to come from him, because you know, he's now you know, one of the best. Well, he's one of the best athletes in the world.
Yeah,
certainly in Europe.
How old is he then, Dave?
He would probably be, I'd say, late 20s now. But yeah, he's still got scope to improve, I'd say, in terms of his age profile.
Finished third in the New York City Marathon as well.
Yeah. So he's really building his running CV now.
And Eilish McColgan was the first female Brit, wasn't she?
He was,
great
but did you see the photographs of her shoes?
Yeah, she's put a big thing on though today, hasn't she? To say, because the newspapers, she was saying, I don't know if you've seen it, but she was saying how again the media just always attack. There's pictures today on in the newspaper of her in a hospital bed, and she said she went on her Instagram this morning and said those pictures from being in a hospital bed were from years ago. The old pictures, and they've dug them out. She said, I didn't go to hospital. I didn't wear new shoes, and the shoes I've always wore. It was just one of those random things that, you know, happened. But again, they'll do anything for a story, won't they?
They will. They will.
I mean, it did look awful, didn't it? But
don't forget, help that the shoes were white, because it really showed the blood.
Yeah, but it was just like a blood blister. It can happen to anyone, can't it?
Of course it can.
Yeah.
But
yeah, she did well. I think she wanted more, didn't she? But
yeah, I do think she struggled. She struggled to nail the marathon. I think she would say that herself. She's not quite at the run I think she's capable of when you look at 10,000 meter times.
Still new to her though, isn't it?
Yeah, takes time, doesn't it? It's like we're just talking about with the foot. Unfortunately, in the marathon, it's more than just about running.
Yeah.
There's a lot to it, a lot of pieces, you know, nutrition, your recovery, your what your shoes you're wearing, chafing, weather.
Well, she was saying, she said she thinks she probably had a virus or something a few days before, because she came out with some rash on her legs and she didn't think anything of it. But they're thinking now that maybe her feet were a bit swollen. And again, you wouldn't notice it, but when you come to then run a marathon, it can have that impact, can't it?
I just wonder if with Alicia she'd be better in going in a race like Valencia, where she's got a lot of male athletes around her. London, I don't know if it lends itself. As you know, with it being a championship race and a women's only race, you quickly get isolated because you've got the East African athletes who are off.
Yeah, and it definitely lends itself to fast time for those athletes, because there's a group of them all going for a similar time with pacemakers.
Yeah.
But you can be a bit isolated in that elite women's field. I was down there spectating, and you know, there were significant gaps in that women's elite field. It was actually a really smaller women's elite field this year. A lot smaller than previous years. It was noticeable.
Yeah. Again, I read on Rose Harvey posted on her Instagram before to say that she found that. She said that when she found that there was a long period where she was on her own, and it was really quiet. She said it was the crowds that pulled around, but otherwise she did feel very much on her own.
Yeah. I know you're going to do some local shout outs in a moment, but I just wanted to quickly mention, we've mentioned Patrick Dever, Preston Harriers was the second British male to finish. Third British female to finish in a great time of 2:28 was another Northwest athlete, Jess Warner-Judd of Blackburn Harriers. So good to see a couple of Northwest clubs among those leading British athletes.
Yeah.
And there was a big thing on the BBC about Jess, because she's been diagnosed with, is it epilepsy?
Epilepsy, yeah. So she actually stopped competing for quite some time. And then she said, I never expected to be competing at this level again. So, you know, that's quite a story, but remarkable comeback from her.
Yeah.
I didn't realise that.
Yeah, they did if you watch the recap at the beginning of the marathon, they did a big piece on it, and it was really interesting. Especially to hear, we always go on saying sometimes we struggle with certain things and injuries and that, but she's really turned it around, and like Dave said, to be competing again on that level, and what a great time as well.
Absolutely.
Mm. So those local shout-outs, I believe one of you is going to run over those local shout-outs.
Yeah, do you want me to do them? Yeah. So we've got Sarah Barron, 2:57.19. So great run from Sarah. Rachel Rozhvenskaya, 2:48.22, 7-minute PB. So I know I'll talk a bit more about Project 3, but Sarah and Rachel are both part of Project 3. And obviously the idea was to try and take 3 minutes off your PB. So Rachel smashed that. So she got a nice $3,000 bonus at the finish. That was nice for her. Helen Ansell, 3:10.39, who also ran Manchester Marathon the week before, so another second good run by Helen. Matt Henderson, Hyde Striders, 3:33. Kieran Hursthouse, 3:11.43. His dad ran as well, but I don't know his dad's time, but well done to his dad. Steph Mallet, Hyde Village Striders, 3:37.57, and her son Kieran Mallet is only 19, his first marathon, 3:11.50.
I think he's coached by James Moles there,
Kieran,
isn't he?
Yeah, so good run by him. Claire Barnes, previous guest, 2:56.42, so brilliant to see Claire on the start after difficulties getting there previous year. Caroline Canty, 4:18, and she did Boston on the Monday as well, didn't she? So
yeah,
quick,
that was a 6
turnaround
as well.
Yeah. So yeah, well done, Caroline. Matt Smith, East Cheshire, 2:40.11. That was a PB, and it was his birthday as well. So birthday PB.
Kept that quiet, didn't he?
He did. Yeah. I didn't know you text me, didn't you, Callum? He'd just gone to the toilet. I said to Sean, "Oh, Callum's just texted me. It's Matt's birthday." When he come back, I said, "Happy birthday, Matt. I'd give you a gel or something if I'd have known." Steve Broadbent, 2:42. Jane Lawton, 3:35. Emma Riley, 3:35. I think they might have ran together, Jane and Emma. I bumped into Jane at the start, and then I bumped into Emma on the course, but they finished at exactly the same time. I've seen a picture of them together. So
they both stopped Port Harriers.
So I think they might have run together. And well done to Emma as well, just to say she's had a bit of a rough few weeks. So I know she did struggle, but well done to her for finishing. Glenn Piper, East Cheshire Harriers, his first marathon in, what was it, 40 years maybe?
Yeah, I think so.
40 years. So I think he said he did his last marathon 40 years ago in 2:46. He finished in 4:55 this Sunday. So well done.
It was, from what I remember, it was 1983.
That was it, yeah. So well done, Glenn, getting your racing shoes back on. But I think he's done with marathons. Harry Partington, 2:35.35. Andrew Whittingham, Run Northwest, 3:21. Sarah Doherty, big PB, also Run Northwest, and Bramall, 3:23. James Harmon is also part of the Project 3, 2:27. Matt San, again, part of Project 3, 2:44.13. And Chris Perry, he was the fastest Project 3 runner, wasn't he, Dave?
He was, yeah. So Chris is a member of Vale Royal, local runner, lives in Warrington, and commutes to work in Manchester every day. But 2:13, as you say, first Project 3 runner home. So great run from Chris. PB as well.
Great time there, yeah. Bev Bealey, previous guest, 3:58. And then I've just had a message with some runners from Royton Road Runners. So we had June Allingen, 82 years old, June.
Wow.
I know, brilliant. And London Marathon, on their video, they did a video of the youngest and the eldest female runner, and they put a lady on there who's 81, but June's actually 82, so she trumps her. 6:33.16, so brilliant from June. Neil Brock, 3:43.12. Lee Earnshaw, 4:04.16. Bryony Jones, 4:52.59. Gail Shaw, 4:03.46. And James Wright, 5:21.53. So there was loads more local runners as well, weren't there? I think it was there was a really good turnout of local runners. So sorry we've not mentioned everybody, but well done.
I've just got one I
to
wanted
see.
to mention.
Yeah.
We mentioned about runners at the older end of the age scale. Now, the 6 runners who have done all 46 London marathons,
yeah.
which is absolutely incredible. None of them are local runners, but there is a local connection with one of them. So Peter Speak of Wilmslow Running Club, who's one of the top Vet 50 runners in the country, his dad is 84 years old, and he was one of those 6 runners.
Oh, really?
Completed all 46 London marathons,
Wow.
which is absolutely amazing.
That's incredible, isn't it?
It really is, yeah.
Did you say, Sean? I wonder if they put in the ballot. Or was that you, Callum? Somebody
Yeah,
said.
that was me.
I very much doubt they have to go in the ballot.
We posted on socials as well, didn't we? Asking for some.
Yeah.
So apologies if we're duplicating them, but Nikki Chamberlain said that she did a 10th London Marathon. I think you mentioned Emma Jones, Caroline Canty, Bev Bealey as well.
Yeah.
She ran, and then we've
I didn't mention Emma. Yeah, so Emma Jones from Hyde Village Striders.
Yeah.
Mm.
And
Yeah,
then,
well done, Emma.
Yeah, and what did Emma? Yeah, she didn't put a time.
She didn't put a time, no.
But no, it was great. It was great to watch as well. It was a really good, good viewing.
Yeah, I did miss not having my name on my top this year. Obviously, I always have my name on, and it does make a difference, you know. I mean, I felt like because I was part of the Puma, people were shouting Puma anyway, because obviously it was a big thing over there, so they did recognise it. But and I did see a few people that I knew, but I did miss actual hearing my name. I'm just used to.
Yeah, I mean, when I was stood spectating at 40k, there was people stood near me and they were cheering people on. I thought, God, do they really know all these people?
Yes.
And I realised it was the people with the names on the vest.
Yeah, people.
So it really does make a difference.
It does
Put
make
your
a
name on your vest,
Yeah.
and you will get loads of shouts.
Yeah. So everyone that I was near was getting shouted. I knew every name of everyone I was near, but I did miss hearing my own name.
Yeah.
So yeah, I definitely recommend doing that.
Yeah.
So we wanted to shine a light on the marathon season as well, and what's next for us all. So marathon training, for those that don't know, is usually around 8 to 16 week block, depending on how you train. So I ran Manchester, Sean ran London, and Katie ran both. And then
Makes you making up for me not doing one.
Yeah. So one for the team.
Yeah.
And then we've had Boston as well, and then there was loads around this weekend. There was Newport, which is
Blackpool.
Blackpool, and then we've got Brighton was a couple of weeks ago. So as part of so Katie, you mentioned about Project 3, so we found a few stats that they put on their Instagram.
Yeah.
So they said there was 84 PBs overall. 54 PBs that were 3 minutes or above.
So they all got $3,000.
Yeah, so
a lot of money.
I know.
The biggest PB was from 3:13:55 to 2:54:07. So that's just short of 20 minutes.
Yeah, brilliant that.
Total time shaved off PBs was 6 hours 21:55. The top female was Katrina Ballantyne Chalmers, 2:35:32, and the top male, which I think we've already mentioned, Chris Perry, 2:13:41. And so Katie, over to you to give us your overview of the week.
Some amazing runs, yeah. So obviously I was part of Project 3, and I think I have mentioned it, and you will have been bored to death by my socials because I've not stopped sharing about it, but it's been the most surreal experience ever. So those that don't know, it was like an application process for if you had a place in London or Boston, and Puma were going to sponsor a number of what they call sub-elite athletes. So those people who would never be picked as to be sponsored in an elite kind of way, but to give you a taste of that lifestyle. So we had those that were picked, basically we had nutrition advice, input from psychological perspective, sports psychology. And again, you probably will have seen, if you follow me on socials, the most unreal amount of kit ever. We had so many shoes, sent to us carbon shoes and kit, and then a few weeks before the marathon, we had the kit sent to us, which was absolutely unreal. Nothing that I would ever have chose before. It was like a Barbie outfit, bright pink, pink arm sleeves, the most amazing like pink, blue, orange, bright vest, carbon bright shoes. So we got to choose. We could either run in the DV8 Elite 4s or the Fast R's. And yeah, basically we just for the whole weekend got treated like royalty. So there was a Puma tent that was just by, well, say tent, it was it was a building. It was 200 meters from the finish line, and we could go into that all weekend, and it was open to the public at certain times, but there was sections that were just for the Project 3 people, and we had like photo shoots, portraits. Our names were on walls. When we arrived, we got a full bag with a full tracksuit in it. More trainers at like Morton Fuel. We had beds where we could have those, you put the like vibrating trousers, massage trousers, and they were bringing us cocktails, and they had trays bringing us bagels. It was insane. It was just absolutely like just mad.
Sorry, me and Sean are giggling that you just said vibrating trousers.
Trousers, they were great. What more do you want marathon weekend?
Highlight of the weekend, Katie.
Absolutely, yeah. But yeah, and it was great again to just meet so many different people from different backgrounds. There's people from America as well that had like come over, and then there was local people. Again, you'll have seen like after the race, even the elites went there. So like Rose Harvey was there, so we were just like hanging out with Rose, having a little chat about a race, and her and her husband were both there, and she was like, having pictures with us and chatting. And so yeah, the overall idea for the program though really is, I think that Puma are trying to show obviously that their shoes are the fastest. So that was the idea. And if you could break 3 minutes or take 3 minutes off your PB, you got $3,000 at the finish. And obviously, like you've just read out, quite a lot of people did do that. Unfortunately, I didn't break that, but I didn't expect to run in Manchester the week before. And I ran Manchester hard. And managed to take off about 240 off my PB. So it was very slim chances that I would. And I did have my usual experience in Manchester where I went off at a faster pace and then got cramps. So I decided in London, everybody knows I love London, so I wanted to go off at a much more conservative pace and just see how it was. So I did set off about 30 seconds slower than I did at Manchester per mile, but it felt much more controlled and calm. I did feel like I had twinges of cramp, but it actually never came. And I was able to, I did tire towards the end and drop off a little bit, but I was able to pretty much maintain quite a consistent pace all the way around. And I just loved it. I literally embrace the crowds. I was just high-fiving all the kids and pressing for power. I had a nice pop off somebody on the way around and chatted to a few people, not full-on conversations. And like, again, don't get me wrong, it is hard. I'm not saying it was easy, but I never hit the wall or anything, and just felt great. And again, I think there was something special about being part of that Puma team, because when you see there's a section where you're going out and the elites are coming back, to see even the elites in the same kit that like you have on, it felt like pretty special. It did feel it felt nice. So yeah, I enjoyed it, and I used the precision fuel and hydration. So I had a gel every 4 miles. I didn't carry any water, but I had a salt tablet every 15 minutes just with water off the course. And yeah, that it seemed fine. Didn't have any, gastro problems or anything. Felt fueled all the way. And to be honest, I didn't feel too bad, because I wasn't sure again how I was. I was a bit anxious, thinking, what will 2 back-to-back marathons feel like? But it felt fine. And touch wood, I feel like I've recovered pretty quick. So yeah, I'm not sure I won't be in a rush to do 2 again, but I don't think it was, if it's something that kind of comes up for somebody, I wouldn't say definitely, don't do it. But I just love London. But I do reiterate what everybody else has said. For the first time, I would say it was really busy, and I wasn't too bothered because obviously I'd run Manchester and got a PB the week before. So for me, it was more about embracing the crowds. But there were points where it was really difficult to kind of maneuver around the crowds, particularly like at water stations, and when people kind of start to cut across, and it was really crowded. So I think the further back in the waves that you are, so that I was in wave 3 this year, I think the further back that you are, the harder it is. As well, I was in blue wave 3, and then when you join the others at about 3 miles, that other wave that we joined, they must have been slower than us, because we then got stuck behind that wave and it took us a while to all take over. So that was a bit awkward as well. So again, I do hear what everyone's saying when they say it can be frustrating because it's busy, but I just absolutely love it. I would say London, it probably isn't a PB course unless you're right at the front, but for the experience, I'm still on a high. It is amazing. I just think nothing beats it. Like in terms of atmosphere, it doesn't. Manchester the week before don't even touch it. But so yeah, I've loved it as always. So I've got to go back now and do number 10 because that was London Marathon number 9. So I feel like I've got to do 10. So yeah, that's me.
Good day as well for you. Good time as well for you, Katie. 3:13.
Yeah, I was happy with that.
Yeah, 5 minutes off your PB. I think.
Yeah,
the conditions were probably a little bit more difficult for Manchester as well, weren't they? So add that into the fact that you'd done one the week before.
yeah,
I think it's a very good run.
yeah. I think again, I think I didn't overthink it, because like normally when you go into a marathon, you put everything into it. Don't get me wrong. Again, I did do do my best, but like after Manchester, I went out in Manchester for a bit and had a few drinks and I wasn't thinking, I've got another marathon in a week. And then when we recorded the podcast on the Monday, I had a wine, and I wasn't, and I was like, when I went to London on the Friday, I was backwards and forwards doing all the Puma stuff. And another thing that I did in the Puma, they were doing, again, you probably will have seen on my socials, they did like a time trial to win a pair of exclusive colourway carbon trainers. But no women would do it, which again, I understand because it was the day before a marathon. It's not ideal, is it? But I was thinking, it's only 4 minutes for 6:28 minute miling or something. So I thought, I'll do it. So I did it and won the trainers. But again, people were saying, we wouldn't normally do that before a marathon, would you? But I'm all for, you only live once and you've got to take the experiences, haven't you? So I didn't want to miss it. But yeah, I was quite happy how I think because I was relaxed, it kind of just flowed and worked out. But yeah, I've had the best weekend. I'm still on a high, so just waiting for all them endorphins to settle, and I'll be depressed by the end of the week. Yeah, what about you, Sean?
Yeah, man, we're brilliant. Yeah.
Come on.
Bit more enthusiasm, please.
Yeah.
There obviously wasn't a good run for me. But the build up, obviously, just training was good and everything. Did get some good signs going into the last week that I might be able to do something. I think I never felt I was in PB shape, but I thought I was in shape to beat my Valencia time and execute a good race. So Saturday evening, we got some news that Benny wasn't very well. He's lying here at the side of me.
Yeah.
He had some breathing issues, so so I didn't sleep brilliant the night before the race, and then 6 o'clock the next morning, we're on the phone to the emergency vet from London trying to get Benny sorted out. Luckily, my dad's and Claire's mum were able to take him to the vet. So that was not ideal, on race morning where you're trying to focus on the race, and I really wasn't thinking about, I just wasn't in the right real mind going into it. But by the time we got settled down in the assembly area and everything, I got the news that he'd been checked up and he was all right. He just needed a bit of rest and stuff like that. So there was nothing to worry about. And then a bit of inexperience as well, I think, being in that blue wave. I've not been in the blue wave before. I've always been in the championship start. So I've been spoiled a bit in terms of you don't have to panic getting into your area. You can chill out a bit, you get in. And for me at my level, I just go to the back of the championship start and I'm getting pulled along anyway by good runners. Whereas that's not the case in the blue wave. I was messing around, having my 900th piss of the morning, and then got over to the start area, and I was quite close to the back of the blue wave, but didn't overly worry because everyone, puts the time down. But the water it started, it was just so slow. It was just painfully slow, and you're looking at your watch and you think, okay, well, I can take this till 5K, and then we'll pick it up because I think I said I wanted about 6:10 pace, which is not a PB pace, but it was what I felt, the shape I thought I was in. But I wasn't getting anywhere near that. And I think even by 10K, we're still stuck at 6:15s, 6:20s. Every time I jumped on the curb, you're getting stewards shouting at you, telling you needed to get back on the road, to try and get around. So I was doing everything that you're told not to do, really, trying to weave around people. And then it got to a point where it cleared up maybe about 7 mile in. But by this point, I was actually couldn't really run any faster anyway. So when it did start to clear up, I was kind of stuck around this 6:20 pace, 6:25 pace.
Yeah. Alan will be aware of this, but on the local runs WhatsApp group, I said, "Oh, Sean's speeding up. He's one of the few people to be doing this." And obviously we didn't know how busy it was. We didn't know what was going on. All we could see was you were speeding up, and that was a good sign.
Yeah, I was trying to pick it up, but I didn't pick it up as much as I'd like to because I was feeling a bit tired as well. And but yeah, I did manage to get moving. But yeah, it was gone. And I think when you're only 6-7 miles into a marathon and you're off pace.
Yeah, if you've not got that momentum, it is hard then, isn't it? It's a long way mentally and physically, isn't it, if you've not got going.
Yeah. I was going to say that there's the physical element of you, of you trying to weave your way around runners. You're probably wasting energy, but you're probably also getting stressed as well.
Yeah.
Very annoyed I was getting.
Yeah, and that does not help you in a race getting stressed.
Yeah, I was getting very annoyed.
Yeah, you know what I think as well. I think because in the championship time, in the championship wave, obviously it goes off time. But I think in the other waves, you put your estimated time, don't you? So I think because London starts quite late, I think people are conscious of that and they put faster times because, again, definitely in my wave, there were people who were a lot slower.
Yeah.
So again, I think
you're right. It's just people completely blagging it. Unbelievable. It was really bad.
Yeah.
And I did not enjoy. I know you said you loved it.
I love it. I know, but it was your marathon. You trained for that marathon, and I did at Manchester. I got my head down and I did what I trained for.
Yeah, I just hated it. I didn't enjoy the experience at all.
Yeah.
And I won't be going back and doing that in the blue wave. It's just not conducive to running well at all.
No.
But you know what I mean? I'm not blaming the situation because I've not been right for a long time. The reason I wasn't in the championship start is because I've not been right for a long time. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's my own doing that, really. And you get out of these things we put into them, don't you? And so yeah, 2:49.11. The time's not even important to me really because it's just such a lot for me to unpack really in terms of where I am with my health on the iron thing and my training and everything else. I just need to get to the bottom of a few things really. But yeah, it was a tough day for me really. I was so banged up as well after it. It's like the slowest marathon I've run since 2018, and my quads are good for nothing now. Absolutely useless. Just getting downstairs the next 2 days was unbelievable.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it's only like today I feel marginally all right, and I'm going up to the lakes in the morning, up mountains, and I'm just hoping that I can get down.
Oh.
So yeah, it was a tough weekend for me. Loads of people said nice comments, by the way, on my Strava and on messages and things like that. I do appreciate it, but I've just been proper sulking. So sorry if I've been a bit negative on me Strava and stuff because I'm proper fed up. I just want to forget about
The thing is though, when you're when you're on the podcast and you're giving your updates on your training, people are invested, and then you know they want you to do well because they can see you can see all the they can see the time and the effort and how much it means to you.
Yeah, I put a lot into that block. Put a lot more into this training than I did for Valencia and got a lot less out of it. It's just that's running.
I'm going to say that's the marathon game as well. Instead of this to so many people, I spoke to quite a few people who it seems to either be one way or another, doesn't it? It's gone well and people are buzzing, or people just feel so disappointed. And it's really hard because again, people say, yeah, but you've run a marathon and you should still be proud of yourself and you're part of the 1% club and all that kind of stuff. And that it is all true, but when you've trained, there's nothing worse because you only get one shot at the marathon, don't you? If it was a 5K, you just book another one next week, or a 10K, but even a half, you can you just go and do it. But a marathon, it takes so much out of it, and then when it doesn't all come together, it is hard, isn't it?
Yeah. They had to just pick a couple of positives. I've worked hard on this bit of the section, by the way. I was pretty even across the race, so I didn't die off. I just never really got going in the first place. So I think I lost about a minute in the second half of the race. So that's not bad. And I had pretty good heart rate drift across the race. You know what I mean? I stuck to a heart rate plan. I didn't deviate from it. And I think that enabled me to run evenly, you know. So I just think I ran to where I am at the minute. Just think the first part being so slow didn't help because you're running too far within yourself in that first bit, and you're not chasing 3 minutes down. It's not. We're not without cooking yourself. But good week. It was a good weekend overall. Just didn't enjoy the race.
Did he stay over afterwards, you guys?
Yeah, we went out, didn't we? We had food and
nice.
Few drinks, and that was nice, wasn't it?
Yeah,
was
we had
that
two dinners we had.
You had 2 dinners. I only had 1. Less of the wee Sean. I had 2 drinks instead of 2 dinners.
Me and Matt had 2 dinners. We both went and got some food and sat down and that. And Matt looked at me and said, "Are you having anything else to eat?" I said, "Are you?" And then we both made a mutual agreement that now it's acceptable. Now we're both so go and get some more. Yeah. So I think it does help with your recovery though. Maybe I should have had 3 though, the way my quads are.
And the Guinness, of course, Sean.
Yeah.
Get those iron levels back up.
Yeah, I'm working on it.
It's nice though. Again, I think that's what I've said about I love going away for the weekend, and that's what I've missed at Manchester. It was nice at Manchester going out afterwards, but I just love the whole weekend of London. Being, like the day after as well, walking around with your t-shirt and your medal, and everybody's like invested, aren't they? You're on the tube and everyone's clapping and congratulating you.
The most bizarre moment I've ever experienced at London Marathon was going through the tube station to get back to the hotel after the race, and then walked around the corner and everybody just started cheering and clapping. And I looked behind me and thought, what's going on?
Who is it?
Thought Michael Jackson had literally just walked in or something like that. It's like unbelievable. And they were clapping at me with a medal. I felt so embarrassed.
Oh, no, it's nice though, isn't it? It is nice. There's just so many people, obviously, because there's like thousands of, nearly 60,000 people that have done it. So all those people in the city, it is like a really nice feeling. And even the spectators, then if people who've not been running, people spectating are really invested in it, aren't they? It does just feel like a real buzz.
Yeah.
And the weather was nice and all that helped. So it probably didn't help the runners as much, but
it's pretty perfect conditions, really.
I think it was.
Yeah.
It wasn't that hot, was it?
No.
Quick question to all 3 of you. You've all just run marathons. We've talked about in the past about the post marathon blues. So obviously you put all that time and effort in, and it's your focus for so many weeks and months. Have any of you had that come down yet, where you feel a bit lost? There's not something not quite there.
I'm not there yet. I think that's
You're not
why
there.
I
You're still on
know
your
it will
high.
because I'm still on a high, yeah. Because
Yeah.
and I think because I've still got like I'm in the Project 3 group and they're still sending pictures through of things that happened at the weekend, and then there's other like things going on, and we're planning a
You're
weekend
still
out.
in the moment,
So I'm
aren't
still
you?
in the high, yeah, but I'm sure it will come. I don't know, Callum, you might be there already.
Not marathon blues. I think the Wednesday after Manchester, I booked a load of races just to fill up the summer.
Yeah.
I started to do that. I did look at some marathons. I think I mentioned that I was kind of looking to see if there was anything around that I could possibly jump onto. But no, I don't feel like I want to do that just yet. But no,
So what did you book?
Pardon?
What did you book? Did you say you booked a few races? What?
Yeah, I booked Wilmslow 10K.
Oh yeah.
And then I booked the Dunham Massey races as well.
Oh yeah.
You'll love those.
Yeah, I did one of them last year and I really enjoyed it. And then I had a further look into what I actually bought. And it's 2 races at Dunham Massey and 2 races in Warrington.
Oh, okay. You paid for the series. Nice.
Yeah. So I'm looking forward to having a bash of that, to be fair.
Yeah, that's good.
Yeah, I've not really got marathon blues because my marathon blues started about 5k into my race on Sunday. Yeah, I'm just not falling over myself to get back into running at the minute, to be honest.
Yeah.
Oh, sure.
I know. Just to try and do something that. What about like this? I'll do like the summer trail races. Like I love them. Like Stride Through the Woods and like Brighton Trail. Like again, because but you don't like trail stuff, do you, Sean? So I suppose Sail Sizzlers, get on them.
No, I'm starting to have a play around with my ideas and what I'm going to do later in the year. So obviously I've got a place in Amsterdam Marathon.
Oh yeah.
But I'm doubting what I want to do next really at the minute.
Anyone doing a tour?
Nope.
No.
I'm going to do the tour, so that's not far away, is it? But again, that's what I always like to do. London like marathon, and then just do all that more low key trails. Because even though the tour, like, it's demanding, but it's not pressure, is it? It is what it is.
Yeah.
I had a look at that. Right? Did they do like a 4-day one in Rochdale?
Yeah, apparently they do. Yeah.
Yeah, I had a look at that. I don't think I can make that weekend, but yeah, it looked decent.
Yeah, something like that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's just like, I don't know. It's almost like you just want the world to bloody swallow you up sometimes.
I know, it's horrible. It is
like
horrible.
when you think back, like just under a year ago when I signed up to getting coaching, and I was buzzing with that, and thought, all right, it's going to be a good 12 months, and just got from bad to worse really since then. And it's just like embarrassing. I just feel a bit embarrassed and a bit fed up with it all.
It's nothing to be embarrassed about at all.
Don't be embarrassed, Sean.
Well, I am.
Especially when you think how far you've come.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I'm saying.
Short space of time.
And you will come out the other side where it's so hard at the time because you just feel like you're in that moment. You can't see that you will come out of it. But how many stories do you read? Again, that's what the marathon always does bring out, like the best in the community, doesn't it? I think I shared some of my stories last night saying, like, sorry, not tonight because I'm just crying at all the marathon videos, but like genuinely, like people who, have had heart surgery and then they've come away and thought they'd never run again. And all these stories, like it does happen. I know it won't make you feel any better right now because nothing never does it, but
well, I've had a couple of cans of Jubal, that's all.
Yeah. I'm back on the beer and biscuits as well, Sean. So.
Oh, there you are. Everything will be all right in a few days. But no, I do feel though, because I know, like even you, Callum, like at Manchester, when you don't hit what you want to hit, it is so hard in that moment, isn't it, to not be disappointed. There's nothing anyone can say to make it better, is there? But you definitely shouldn't be embarrassed.
Yeah,
Just before we finish this section, Carl, the reason I'm going to the lakes tomorrow, I always try and have something planned in for after, for that marathon groups.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it might not be a race, but just something like we're going on holiday in a couple of weeks and got a couple of days away with mates walking. So it's just something I do. Might be worth looking at. Or just have a little something planned in your diary after the race. I think is nice to do.
Yeah.
I want to get a tattoo because I had a little tattoo at Puma. Did you see it? It's tiny. It's so you can't even see it. But it's really small.
I heard about this. They were doing real tattoos.
They do real tattoos, yeah. People thought they were fake, but no, it was real. So it's just there was just a few you could choose from. So it's just like a little lightning bolt on my arm. But it made me think I'm gonna treat myself to a new tattoo on my arm. Wow. Not anything running, just 3 butterflies. But yeah, gotta reward yourself, haven't you?
Just to finish off then, talked about races coming up over the year. Should we just have a chat about favourite local races? Because there's lots coming up, isn't there?
Yeah.
I'm going to start with Callum because he's already circled a few in his diary.
So, because I got my first podium, Stride Through the Woods. I do really like Stride Through the Woods for the sheer fact that with it being a 5K, you think it's over and done with, nice and fast, but it's got 4 fairly challenging climbs and descents. I'm probably going to go Stride Through the Woods, but another local race that I like is the Dustone Diamond. Really like that one. I remember doing that as one of my first club races, and my God, that was a struggle, that first climb, and I was not expecting it. But yeah, it's a top race. And the first year that I did it, they had the descent down the side of the reservoir rather than going along to the car park and like looping round. You just literally had to just go straight down the embankment. So yeah, they're my 2 favourites, and I can only do one of them this year because I can't make the Dustone Diamond.
When is Stride Through the Woods? That's soon, isn't it?
13th, quite early.
Yeah, 13th of May.
Okay.
Wow. That's only 2 weeks.
Yeah, 2 weeks. So.
Better get a wiggle on.
Yeah. For anyone listening, are there entries still available?
Yeah.
There you go.
I might sign up for that.
What about you then, Katie? What are your favourite local races?
Yeah, I have done Stride Through the Woods, but a few years ago. I've not done it recently. I've been and watched it for the past few years. I don't know why. I think it must have been close to marathons, but I don't know. I might do it this year. I'll have a look. But like I've just said, like Royton Trail, there's a few of them around like Oldham. I can't think of all the names, but like your midweek random, trail stuff. And I am signed up for the tour, so I'll do the tour as well. I've not got anything like fast and flat as in proper running booked, but that's what I like, to just switch off from that for now. Although I feel like I do need to do a fast 5K and 10K at some point in the year, because I've now done a PB half and marathon this year. I thought my PBs were long gone. So the fact that I've done a half and marathon, I feel like I need to try and get a 5K and a 10K PB. So after summer, I'll probably chill out a bit over summer. Then after summer, maybe try and get a fast 5K and 10K and see if I can.
Knutsford will be great for a 10K for you.
Yeah, something like that.
Such a fast race, that.
Yeah. When is that?
Normally end of September or early October.
Oh, yeah. So, yeah, that kind of time would work for me. So, yeah, I might look at that. But, yeah, I'm not going to run all week now. I do feel fine, but I think that's the danger, isn't it? That when, again, you're riding that high a bit and you feel all right. So I'm purposely just not going to run at least until next week. Oh, yeah. Like you, Sean?
Oh, Sean.
Oh, Sean, yeah.
Go on, Dave.
Yeah. Local race. A lot of the local races for are trail races, aren't they?
Yeah.
Offerton 5 is I'm sure that was
that's my personal favourite, Callum. But
you're not making him want to get back into it here, Callum.
I think I'm looking at the Sale Sizzlers. I think I'm going to do them again this summer. Do you know what? If you'd have asked me that 2 years ago as well, I wouldn't have really said them, but they've grown on me because I think I've done the Sale Sizzlers a couple of years ago, all of them, and it really helped with my fitness over that summer. Building into Fairlane, just those hard 5K efforts, which I don't think you can really, for me anyway, you can't replicate at a park run. It's a different thing, and so I'm gonna do them, or certainly 3 of them, and possibly one of the 10Ks. Yeah, maybe Wilmslow. In terms of a favourite race, it's the Tour locally, but it just doesn't like me so much.
Would you consider doing any of the races individually, Sean, or does that go against your moral compass?
Don't it? Just I think I would, but it doesn't feel quite right. So maybe I wouldn't as well. I'd love to do the high 7 if I was going to pick one.
Yeah.
But yeah, probably not. It doesn't feel right to me. What do you think, Dave?
I've done the hard 7 before.
Yeah, I have as well. I have done it as a standalone.
Yeah,
I did it last year.
You're running along in the race, and you're thinking, the guys just in front and just behind me have done the Tour, and they've got 3 races, and they're like, this doesn't feel quite right. But if it's an opportunity to run, in my opinion, one of the greatest races in the area.
Yeah.
I've done stage 1. I've done stage 1 individually.
Yeah, that's fair, because although people might be pacing themselves, they've not got races in the legs.
Yeah.
No.
I'd
Shown for
probably
example
do,
on there though.
yeah. I'd probably do night 2 or the half. I'd probably do them individually.
Yeah.
But, yeah, don't know. Might do.
It's just that none of them are PB courses, are they? I suppose that's the thing, really. If you're wanting to do, I think if you're doing the whole tour, times are irrelevant. Whereas if you're just doing one race, you usually do the race because you want to run it well, don't you? I don't know.
Well, none of them are really. Apart from the half, they're not really. And even that's a trail race, isn't it?
That's what I mean.
I think it's almost like the thing with me with the hard 7 when I did it, it was like FOMO, fear of missing out. You're seeing the Tour day after day, and you're thinking, this looks amazing. The camaraderie, the vibe. You want to be part of it. But like to Sean's point, if you don't fit your bodies up to doing all 4, then you maybe need to look at doing 1 or 2.
Yeah,
definitely. I'm definitely going to go to the Sizzlers. I mentioned that a few weeks ago when me and Callum were talking. That I was looking back at what I did in 2024 because I had a good year in 2024. So I'm trying to look at what I'm doing wrong. I'm thinking, right, well, I did the Sizzlers that summer, and maybe that just gave me a good platform, get some speed going into the autumn.
And what you say is true. You can't replicate a race in training. You can't replicate that effort.
Yeah, I agree.
So a race can be as good as 2 weeks of training in terms of bringing you on.
Yeah, and it's that mental toughness that you gain as well, isn't it? I feel like I've lost some of that.
Oh, yeah. I mean, when you've not raced for a while and you go to a park run and try and run hard, or if you've not raced for a while and you go to a race, it's always a shock to the system, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah. What about you, Dave? What's your favourite locals?
So for me, I love the local trail races. And it's hard to single them out. So I love Stride Through the Woods.
Are you doing it, Dave?
I'm sorry?
Are you doing it?
It's only 2 weeks away and I'm still not running, so not this year for me.
Can't do it on your bike, Katie.
No.
Yeah, can't do it on a bike. Reddish Vale Trail Race I loved. Royton Trail, Katie's mentioned. I loved that one when I did it. I've done Dovestow Diamond before, but it's so long ago I can't quite remember the course. And I've never done the Millbrook Monster. But I enjoy those Dunham Massey races that Callum's entered as well. If you want a flatter one, you're in a nice setting with the deer roaming around in front of the Dunham Hole. That's a great one to do.
Oh, is it flat, that one? I assumed that'd be.
It's relatively flat.
Is it?
There is a little bit of an incline on it, and it's partly road, partly sort of fast footpath.
All right.
Yeah, I did one last year. I think I did the last one. And it's literally you start at the top of a path and you run down, and it's slightly downhill for about a K or so?
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
And then you loop back round and then you do that again, and then you loop back round one more time, and then you finish.
Yeah.
And where is it? Done a Massa?
Done a
Yeah.
Massa, yeah. So it's really
So-
nice race. There's two of them as well. One runs one way, one runs clockwise, one's anti-clockwise. But yeah, just a quick update on my injury. I've seen Duncan this morning, and I've told him that I'm now at the stage where I'm not feeling any pain at all. So I think on the last episode I mentioned that I was still feeling it every 2 or 3 days, just a bit of a twinge, but not felt it now for quite a few days. So he says he would recommend what he said in the appointment this morning, to give it 12 weeks, and I'm on week 10 now. So he says another 2 weeks, ramp up the rehab, ramp up the strength work, and then he said you can try 20 minutes of running in 2 weeks' time.
Brilliant.
So hopefully that'll be the start of a return to running.
Yeah, oh, fingers crossed.
Everything crossed for you, Dave.
Everything crossed. Thank you.
Yeah.
But yeah, if all does go well, I did enjoy having a serious crack at running fast at Knutsford last year. So yeah, that's what I would aim for, because it's far enough away that if I don't have any setbacks with this return to running, it's far enough away to be able to manage a cautious build up and hopefully be fully fit for that.
Okay, so that's it for this episode. In our next interview, we have a Salford Harrier. She has PBs in 5K at 17:44, a fresh PB in the 1500 of 4:43, an 800 of 2:06. We will be speaking to Oriel Hardman.